She gonna keep saying trans so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't even
to find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those emails
I have broken
actually
more
have
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I am
will.
reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not in order.
Order.
I know we don't have two congresswomen acting like children right now for the world to see. That's embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Jasmine Crockett calls Nancy Mace out. Nancy Mace has a tantrum, and I've agreed with a lot of things Nancy Mace said in the past. I don't think that trans women, aka biological men, should have any place in women's private spaces, such as bathrooms. It's not fair. It's not safe. That you never know what some creep is going to actually do who just claims to be a woman. And so I don't think that's okay at all. But like this display of childish outrage is not okay from either side. And we're going to play this clip. But before we get into this, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RTM News because it ensures YouTube that you are enjoying these videos. And in turn, they will continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
will.
am reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a
Chairman,
child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not in order.
Order.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order.
Somebody's
I'm sorry. If you want to take it outside, come on. Like, I disagree with her politics. Like, Jasmine Crockett, the Democrat, a lot of things she said, they've had spats in the past. And like, I don't align with her politics. I don't agree with her rhetoric, her ideology. But this is a childish behavior by Nancy Mace. Like, I get it. She called you out. But like, child, that's a saying. Like, that's in black culture, in television, child, like they do it all the time. It's not an insult. It's not meant to insult you. I mean, it can be used to insult you, but the way she said it wasn't even threatening or wasn't even disrespectful. She was just saying like, and child, like come on. You're dragging it, Nancy. That was unnecessary. It's an embarrassing display. You represent our side, and that's just not a good look. Let's take it outside. I'm sorry. Aren't we like the conservative, like traditional, like you're in your feminine, I'm in my masculine. That was a very masculine thing to say to someone else. Like, let's take this outside. Like, what, you're gonna throw hands with a congresswoman outside? Like, you guys are elected officials. What the heck are you doing? Oh, that's an embarrassing display. So we're gonna show. We're gonna pull up some. I believe this is after, or it might have been before. I don't even know. Them having a little spat online. Nancy Mace does not hold back. So let's check this out. Jasmine, I suffered 2 injuries when I was assaulted at the Capitol a few weeks ago by a grown man who outweighed me by a long shot. Jasmine, I have PTSD from the abuse I suffered at the hands of a man, to include real violence and real rape. Jasmine, ain't no way in hell you are made to take on the likes of me. Keep talking though, and I will keep talking back. Or you can just shut the F up and sit your oh my god, sit your ass back down. The adults in Congress are here to protect women and girls and their rights, and you ain't one of them. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. She's not playing. Okay, we got more. This isn't it. I'm at the place where 0 Fs are given. If you come for me, you better be ready. I will not back down. These are our This is our Congresswoman, guys. These are people that we elected to be the mature adults in the room. And I'm not saying that for political correctness, but I think this is crazy. What do we do? What are we doing? Hold on. What you say? Oh man. Oh my gosh. The adults in Congress are here to protect women and girls and their rights, and you ain't one of them. Like, what? Okay. 0 Fs are given. You are a congresswoman. Like, let's be a little more professional, and just a little bit. I guess this is a response from, this is what Jasmine Crockett says. Nancy Mace loves the uneducated, as Trump calls them. Please explain to me how, at the same dang Karen that called Cat Police on a child who shook her hand, wanted to act like she wanted to fight me. Me, the same person who has represented real killers in court. Is that a flex? She's an attention-seeking loser who clearly has some fundraising goals to hit. And to be clear, that is the only thing that she will hit. SN, whatever that means. Republicans incite violence from the highest levels of government and also claim to be the party of law and order. The two cannot be true. Do yourself a favor and decide to require better of your electeds. Last I checked, threatening members in committee room doesn't exactly reduce the cost of eggs. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Sure. I mean, she's obviously, I don't know why people use this, and we're going to play a video by The View after this. I don't understand why people are trying to utilize this, like, oh, like, I thought you all were about the groceries going down, and you wanted this, and we wanted a lot of things. We wanted the groceries prices to go down, we wanted inflation to go down, we wanted the border to be secure, and we don't want trans women in women's sports or in women's bathrooms. Like that, we want all of them. Like, we can't, why are you making us pick? So here's Nancy's response to Jasmine's tweet. This nasty woman has no place in Congress. She lies, she belittles women, calls survivors names, she calls female fear of a fantasy and dramatic, which is crazy because I'm assuming this is in regards to men and women's sport, or men and women's bathrooms, which is trans women and women's bathrooms, which is something that's happened. It happened in Virginia, I believe. I can't remember. Man, it was like a few years ago. And I remember that's what got them to turn red, I think, their governor, because of what happened. I'm drawing a blank, but I remember Matt Walsh went to their school board and was like, this is insane because a child was raped because someone identified as a woman and they weren't. So that is crazy. This is Jasmine. I hope you never have to endure the trauma of a survivor as I have, whether it's being physically assaulted by a man or by him or both. I've walked through hell and back and lived to warn and protect women. And when you punch women down, I'll be there to punch back. Hold the line. Well, that's the thing. I align with Nancy Mace and her like ideology and what she's trying to do to protect women. I 100% am opposed to trans women in women's bathrooms, trans women in women's sports. It's just not fair. It's not safe, and it's not safe. Like, especially with all these women. This is what's so weird. Like, the Liberal Party has decided like the transgender movement, the LGBT community, and then at the same time the feminism movement. And that doesn't make any sense because they contradict each other. Because you're literally taking away things from women, making women less safe, while promoting, like, in order to promote transgenderism. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But we're gonna play some of the views. Maybe we may or may not get through this whole video, but The View has some thoughts on the altercation, and you know they always have some words of wisdom for the world. So let's check this out.
Well, the confirmation hearings weren't the only heated exchanges in D.C. yesterday. House Republicans passed a bill to ban trans athletes in sports. Yes, because that has a lot to do with the price of eggs.
Oh, stole Jasmine Crockett's line there. Like I said, we want both of them.
And this led to this particular confrontation between Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace. Take a look.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, trans, trans so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not.
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
will
am
in my life.
reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a child.
Chairman,
I
I am
am not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not in order.
Order.
Point of order.
Sounds like The View sometimes, I'll tell you.
We have never taken it outside.
That's what people would like to think.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether she doesn't realize that when we're talking to people, I say, look, girl, child, whatever. So she has a very, she has a difficult time.
She knew.
Of course she knew. Recognizing. But this is what she does.
I actually agree with The View there. She definitely knew. She's heard child before. She knew it wasn't meant to be offensive. I agree with The View. First time in history. You heard it here first. The View's right for once in their life.
I don't understand why she's so concerned about trans athletes and not concerned about the price of groceries. That's all I heard. People kept saying, we're concerned about the price of groceries. Well, Nancy, this is where you could shine in a way that we haven't seen you shine before. Stand up for the people. Stand up for all the stuff that people are being forced to pay for that is not necessary.
Well, when she said the child part, I thought of how many times people say "you guys," and they're like, "I'm not a man," and you're like, "It's colloquial." We all knew what it meant. But what's interesting is I think we have a freeze frame. What got me is that she was talking about it with big crosses in her ears. And something tells me this is not what Jesus would do in this situation.
I don't think Jesus. They're always quoting Jesus. Even Hegseth was quoting Jesus. It's like their way out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Leave Jesus alone. The man is busy.
Well, she didn't quote Jesus, so you just literally added in something that wasn't there. She's wearing a cross. You know, there's atheists that wear cross necklaces and earrings. That doesn't mean that they're Christians. Not that I'm saying they should, but like that doesn't mean anything. And no, we don't. They don't use Jesus as a way to get out of anything bad. What are you talking about? Also, where's this? Christians aren't perfect, so I don't know. Like, yes, we get angry. We can be irrational at times. We're human. Nobody's perfect.
I'm getting busier by the day.
I briefly had high hopes for Nancy Mace. She was the first female Citadel grad. When she ran for Congress, she said, people don't want the government in their bedrooms or their boardrooms. And she became this very different figure, sort of like an aspiring influencer, celebrity type. And I just feel like there's a reason so many people tune out politics and just throw up their hands, because it looks like a clown show. It looks like it's more about some moment to get on TV and to get talked about.
She, in particular, is very interested in being on television. I'll just say this one thing. According to FEC filings, she spent $165,000 for the sole purpose of getting on television last campaign season. She just wants to be on TV. Nancy, come on this show.
Well, yeah.
During her campaign, she wanted to be on TV, and that I'm sorry, does not everyone pay for ads and advertising and commercials where they can be promoted and get eyes on them so people can vote for them so they know who they are? I don't think that worked out the way you thought, Joy.
I would love for her to come on this show. You know what was struck me was that this was.
I know you're not about to talk, Sandy. Isn't your husband going through some legal troubles right now that we all know you knew about for sure? Isn't that interesting? But go off. Let's hear what some nonsense you're about to say.
So uncivilized and so wild. And the trope of the angry black woman is used so often. And I wonder where the trope of the angry white woman is.
It was right there. We saw it.
Because I'd like to see her for asking a black woman to meet me outside or catch me outside called an angry white woman. So let's be clear. This was never about qualifications. This was never about DEI. We all know what this was about.
Well, what was it about, Sonny? Was this about racism? This had nothing to do. What are you talking about? They were getting an altercation. I disagree with the way Nancy Mace handled that, but where do they just conjure up this narrative that's not even there? They're just pulling things out of thin air. What is this about, Sonny? What are you talking about? Don't you come from slave owners? Like, what is going on here, man? The amount of judgment you have, the amount of like headcanon you create to justify the look of disappointment on your face right now when you have nothing to base it on. It's crazy. But I agreed at the beginning. That's funny. The funny thing is I actually agreed at the beginning thing about, the angry black woman thing, there's just trope. But then when a woman acts like that rationally, no one has any fear or anything. I think that's not fair. That's not okay. Then everything else after that, we all know this is about. What are you talking about? And Jasmine Crockett handled herself fine. Like she said what I disagree with her, but like her demeanor was fine.
Well, less than 1% of folks are trans.
Yep.
And why we are lighting this fire. And she was very, very nasty to our first trans Congresswoman.
Yeah.
And it's like, so there's more there. There's more there. But Nancy, you could be a hero. You could be a hero.
She doesn't have the qualifications.
She might. You know what? I don't know that she doesn't because I've only seen this. Mm-hmm. But I know there's more there because before this, she was somebody totally different, which is what Alyssa's alluding to. This was not
She's in
her
the
rap.
sunken place then.
She's what?
She's in the sunken place then.
I don't know where the hell she is.
Sid, I don't know what you're talking about, but go off, Sonny.
But I'm saying you can get right. And if you really want to get right with God, remember, God made us all.
Yeah, yes, he did. And he also, I hate when people, sorry, we need to wrap up, but I hate when people say, God made us all, God loves us all. Yes, and God also set standards and parameters to how we should behave, what we need to aspire to, what we need to be like who to look to, who to turn to, what's right and what's wrong, what's an abomination, what's righteous, what's, yes, he made us all. He loves us all. And then he gave us a blueprint of how to live our life, and you choose to or to not follow that, and based off that choice is where you end up. I don't know what what you meant. That was not a bar. You didn't have, this is not a mic drop moment. Oh, I cannot with the view, man. I thought and I agreed with some of their points, and I still was just like, ugh. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, comment down your thoughts below. That was some interesting feuding between two congresswomen, and as entertaining as it is, it's also embarrassing because we voted for these people. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.